This week we are going to learn about Theodor Seuss Geisel. Theodor Geisel was born on March 2nd, 1904. He was an illustrator, an animator, a filmmaker, and an author. You know him mostly by his middle name, Seuss, or his pen name, Dr. Seuss. He was born and raised in Springfield, Massachusetts. One of his favorite things to do was to observe and draw the animals he saw at the local zoo. His father became superintendent of parks and would bring Ted on Sundays and holidays for behind-the-scenes tours of the zoo. He would bring a sketch pad and pencil to draw the animals, and he would combine their features to create strange new creatures. Probably why he has so many different animals in his books. Long before the famous Cat in the Hat and Fox in Socks, Ted was studying to become an English professor at Oxford in England. It was here he met Helen Palmer. She encouraged him to give up becoming an English teacher and to pursue drawing. She said, "Ted's notebooks were always filled with these fabulous animals, so I set to work diverting him. Here was a man who could draw such pictures. He should be earning a living doing that." Helen and Ted were married a couple years later after returning to the United States. Ted Geisel would work in advertising and for the military before writing his most famous works. Based on Geisel's varied stories, the book "And to Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street" was rejected between 20 and 43 times. He said he was walking home to burn the manuscript when a chance encounter with an old college classmate led to its publication. Here is his sketch of a page from Green Eggs and Ham. It's always nice to see where an artist starts their idea and how it looks when it's finished. Dr. Seuss made his imagination come to life. Here is another example of a sketch he made for the Cat in the Hat. Think about a fun invention or a machine you would love. I wouldn't mind this one to help me clean my house. And here is the completed page. The lines are neater and the colors are much stronger. So you can think about that as you move from your sketch to your completed version. Dr. Seuss has a distinct style. The faces are made somewhat rounded or droopy, with big smiles and mouths, and little noses. As you look at his work, take notice of all those little details and see what inspires you for your own work. Another book he wrote was "Oh, the Places You'll Go." Here is a stack of his idea pages. You can see the famous balloon, and notice that the colors aren't quite as strong and the lines are still a little sketchy. It's still really neat to see these, even though they're not the finished product. Take a look at his flower fish from McElligot's Pool. Very imaginative fins on that fish. And the small details really show his style. I wonder how you would create your own funny fish. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is a classic, from the books to movies. Take a look at his style of the drawing. The droopy longer face and the large mouth. The Grinch also has pointed fingers and hair. And we can't forget his little dog Max, also with little pointed feet. Dr. Seuss wrote so many beloved children's books. I'm sure you have a favorite. One of our family favorites is Hop on Pop. Now we will take a look at some of Ted Geisel's work that he never really let the public see until after his passing. This work is called "Joyous Leaping of Uncanned Salmon." The one on the left is called "That Winter Spring Came Late," and the one on the right is "Cat Detective in the Wrong Part of Town." When you look at these two paintings, you probably start to notice some of his style peeking out in some of the ways that he created buildings and different architectural elements. Here are two paintings where an animal is taking center stage. The one on the left is called Love and Music, and the one on the right is Green Cat with Lights. He signed it Strogovan M. You can see that in the bottom right. And just like his pen name, this was his painting under a different name. There's a story that he had this painting hung in his house, and he would ask his visitors what they thought of this painting, and they didn't know they were talking to the artist himself. This one is called Lion Stroll. What I like about this are the repeating shapes in different sizes. Look at the trees. They look very same in shape, but they get smaller as they go back into the distance. And the same for the lions. They're very similar in shape, but they just get a little smaller. And look at that use of color. Nice warm colors in the sky and cooler on the hill, but then those warm color lions really pop off the hill. Here we have a work called Firebird. Awesome lines for the water. And look at the strong warm colors for the sky and the bird. You can almost feel the waves crashing around you when you look at this work. Here is one similar to Firebird. It's called Freebird. The colors are softer, they're more pastel, but they're still strong and bold. Ted Geisel also did some sculptures. His father sent him some of the antlers that had fallen off of animals at the zoo. And just like his early zoo sketches, he made new creatures. You can even see him coming up with a sketch in that top photograph. I hope you have enjoyed learning a little more about the man behind Dr. Seuss, Mr. Theodore Geisel. I look forward to seeing how he inspires you. Enjoy and stay creative.